Hey guys. Hi. So let me see if I'm already live. Okay. So yeah, I'm live. So hi. So this is my first live, official first live for the clinic. So my name is Teacher Brendan. Uh, and today I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Reading Owl, and then I'll answer some of the questions that you already sent me. So hi Irish. Okay, so the Reading Owl. So if you want to watch, uh, Micah is in the Facebook page. Hi, Christina. So the Reading Owl basically is an offshoot from the old reading clinic when I came back from the States 2 years ago. So, but the reading clinic that uh, I started that way back in 2008, I guess. So that was another time when I came back from the States again. So I worked in the States uh, for two situations. And then the last time I was there, I stayed for about seven years. All right. Um, so the main focus of actually what I'm trying to do really when I first started to teach kids with reading disabilities is uh, really to provide the best kind of teaching and instruction for kids. So that's why I chose the places where I worked with because of the training that I got from all of these places. So I first started in Word Lab, which is the first school or the first clinic that really worked with kids with learning disabilities in the Philippines. And then I moved to Cebu with an Aboitiz group called the Resource Room, where they trained me for a lot of other things. And then that's when I went to the States for the first time. So going to the States really uh, enrich my experience now for learning a lot more about strategies and approaches and methods because it's readily available there. You don't have to pay for anything. So the last time that I was there, I was a Read 180 teacher and a Systems 44 teacher, which is basically where I should technology-based reading instructions. So when I came back to Davao, that's what I actually wanted to do. So uh, leverage that experience with Read 180, which is a scholastic program. And also at that time, our school was a Google school. So we're trained with many of the apps in Google. Uh, and now I want to bring that back here in the Philippines, especially in Davao City. Uh, so just moving on forward with the trainings that I got. So, yun yung pinaka-philosophy ng Reading Owl Center. So, I wanted to just innovate some more and use a lot more current practices in reading instruction that is basically not here yet in the Philippines. So that's what the Reading Owl is all about. Uh, just putting it out there and trying to move the methods and the technology to the students that I work with. So in 2009, when I came back in Brokenshire Hospital sa CanDev group, so I'm working with the OT, the speech, and Dr. Isagire there as our dev ped. Uh, we're already using a lot of iPad work with the students, so paperless, uh, no nothing else but the iPad. And then when the pandemic came, we had to transfer everything to Google platform. So you will see if you look at our classes, it's really a full stack technology based lesson. So it's not PDF. You don't need to write on anything. Sometimes we do whiteboards, but not a lot. just to practice for writing, but it's really all about uh, internet apps that you gather together and you create something out of it to make it multisensory. Uh, and then that is what we push to the students. Uh, and a lot of the students probably enjoy that better because a lot of the students that we work with now are digital natives, so it's very surprising. Well, it's not surprising if you think about it, how well these kids engage with technology, uh, because they're really intuitive. So a lot of these apps are intuitive. It's very easy to use for them because they're so sanay with uh, doing or working with their gadgets and their cell phones uh, and their iPads. So basically, that's what we're trying to do. Go where the students are. So, and we're also trying to train students to become digital masters, if uh, that makes sense. And trying to use technology as a way to uh, learn how to read, learn how to write and spell, learn how to comprehend, learn how to create things out of the technology tools, the digital tools that they have. So that's basically it. So now I'm going to look at your questions. So there are a couple of questions that were really interesting from our parents. So I'm going to look at one. So there's one that says, I have read somewhere in Orton Gillingham manual that it is recommended for dyslexic kids to stick to one language rather than bilingual to ensure that they understand and get a better grasp of the letters and words. So what's my standout considering that we have English, Filipino, and so many other languages in the Philippines? So my answer to that is because we teach kids using the English language in the clinic, so we made the choice na lang not to use Filipino or other Filipino languages uh, in the clinic. But of course, you can do that. Uh, and so we usually keep it, we standardize it so that our medium of instruction is in English. A lot of the sounds in English language you also use in the Filipino language, so that's not a problem. The problem really is the way that the language is structured in the phonological system in English and Filipino, because Filipino is more syllabic while English is very phonetic, so one sound at a time. So it's not really a problem also because a lot of our kids are first language is English. So nagkakaroon na ng problema if the kids do not use English at home. Otherwise, we really just use English. What kind of exciting activities can you give to learners if internet connections are weak? So, yun yung problem when it comes to when your platform is really technology based. So, because what we did actually is to create a lot of these activities. So we customize our activities. So one part of my job really is to create activities for the students. It's hard work because we need to like customize everything for each child. And if the internet breaks apart, if it doesn't work, then that's a problem. And also because if it's online, we can't do anything physically with them. We have to turn off the inter the internet or the class, and then we have to reschedule for when the internet gets better. In the old times when we were doing paper and pencil activities, we had a lot, and when there was a physical clinic, maraming games sa clinic before. We had a lot of multisensory tools that we use. But at home, you can actually just do a lot of things with your kid so that you can develop their skills kapag walang internet connection. So one of the things that we usually do with my young nieces here and nephews is that we do a lot of clay work. So we give them a lot of toys that are very manipulative. Uh, so they create a lot with Lego, for example, or create your own toy. Uh, so that's one of the things that I really want to give to my nieces and young nephews, so that they veer away from their tech tools also, and be more creative with physical gadgets. But that is not to say that I'm not keeping to my philosophy first of trying to push technology in the forefront, because uh, that's my main, if I can say, that's my main goal for Davao, or even for the Philippines, para lang to push technology forward. And the reason for that really is that I really believe that uh, when it comes to technology, we're still a little bit lagging behind. And primarily that is because for the longest time, maraming parents ang ayaw sa technology. They don't want kids to be on their iPad or on their cell phone. But to me, really, when we talk about the times of the times, we really cannot stop the wheels of technology from moving forward and from parang influencing our life. And that's already going to be a big part of our life in the near future. And especially for these young kids, no? Yan na yung buhay nila in the future. Yan na yung kanila, mangyayari sa kanila. So, why not provide them an avenue where they can create instead of being mindless users of these technologies, so, such as in games, for example. So with games, for example, Roblox is one of the biggest things that a lot of parents complain about. So I tend to teach the kids how to make their own games out of Roblox Studio. So in that sense, they're not playing, just playing, but they're creating their own games. They're creating their own worlds, and using their own imagination, so that they understand also the technology that they're working with. Uh, so that's one thing. Uh, is writing important or critical, cursive or not, to dyslexic kids? Given that we are in the era of computers or technology today, do we really need to be stringent to kids and their writing? For example, first capital letters succeeding small letters, or to correct them when they prefer to write their names in all caps. So these two questions. So I think in the era of technology, uh, there is still uh, a big parang puwang for physical writing, I guess, because we still do write in real life here in the Philippines. But more and more, I think, in my own experience, I do not write a lot anymore. I tend to use my technologies more than physically handwrite things. So, for example, I do not really use paper anymore for reminders. I use my phone. I use Google a lot for reminders for everything. So, I'm in grad school right now. I actually write a lot on the Google Documents instead of paper. So I think that's the reality of life in the future, that we are not parang tied to physical handwriting anymore. So I see also a lot of the students that I work with, they have difficulty with typing. Uh, so in a sense, I want them to learn more about typing as well. Uh, but if it is still important for dyslexic kids to write, to handwrite things, I think that there is a place and time for that, especially if you're still wanting to keep your kids. Hi, Tracy. Oh, Tracy wants to be in the video. Hi, Tracy. How's San Francisco? Uh, hi, Rain. Hi, Choi. Uh, so I'm going to let you in later. So if you really want to teach your kids handwriting, then you can still do that. So because we still do in one of our segments in the clinic, we still do handwriting in form of a online whiteboard. So we still do writing, yun nga lang sa whiteboard na sa internet. And in that way we still are able to teach kids that handwriting is also still important. uh, but if you really see your kids still needing to uh, practice with handwriting, uh, I suggest that you strengthen first their fine motor ability. So this is one thing that I also noticed with my young nephews and nieces, that their fine motor skills are not that, I don't know, not that good. So a lot of play work, a lot of uh, using the scissors. Hi, Erwin. I'm not TP. I look like TP though. Yeah. Uh, so and we have OT friends that work with uh, students na may issues with fine motor. So, and I really encourage you to work with an OT along with your reading teachers or special ed teachers when it's really a problem. Uh, how to boost the confidence level of our dyslexic children in relation to reading? So this is a very interesting question because one of the goals of the clinic is really to uh, focus more also on the reading experience of kids, so that even if they have a difficult time with it, that they come out of the reading session with us happy and feeling successful all the time. No? So the confidence level that your kid will experience comes from a lot of things. So first and foremost, at the clinic we really use a very careful uh, and thoughtful selection of a reading material, because each kid is unique. So we uh, really pay attention to what level that kid is reading at. So, for example, they're reading at first grade level. Even if they're grade 2 or grade 3 na. Hi, Cedric. So, we really try to match kung ano yung kaya nilang gawin with the reading material. So, that's probably one of the biggest problems that we encounter with reading teachers and reading professionals, or even your tutors right now. No, your kids are working with other tutors and they use all of these materials na hindi bagay doon sa skill level ng estudyante nyo. That's why you have a lot of students that uh, experience frustration. They don't like to be with a teacher anymore kasi yung materials na ginagamit really is not uh, bagay, hindi siya angkop doon sa skill level. So as a reading teacher, as a reading therapist, we really want to pay attention to that we give them material that is not so hard, but at the same time not so easy also. Yes, so si Tracy ay a long time teacher dati no sa part 1 ng clinic. So Tracy says that she's using the techniques that we were doing when we were at Murphy, and that was like reading clinic part 1 mga techniques. Now Tracy, we're doing much more better other things than what we learned before. So another thing to build your confidence with your dyslexic children or children with difficulty in reading is that you really need to look for ways na make the reading activity or the writing activity or the learning activity be more fun. So at the reading clinic, sa Readingowl, yun yung pinaka-importante, that we present a lot of these activities in a fun, engaging way So a lot of our students comment that they don't notice that they're learning, but it's just play. So a lot of the activities come in form of games and play and fun. So that's why they forget that they're in a teaching situation, because it's really fun uh, doing these lessons with them. Uh, but again, those fun things, they come with a lot of thought and a lot of careful preparation and a lot of customization, so that the lessons become fun. Uh, and that's one strategy that we use at the clinic. Uh, so we really avoid doing a lot of paper and pencil activities using PDF, because uh, a lot of the kids, they do that, and sometimes we have to think of the difficulties that they encounter when they uh, do PDF work, for example, when they have problems with fine motor and they cannot write very well using the annotation tool from Zoom, for example, or in PDF. So that's also a reason or a hindrance why some kids do not like, or nagiging unsuccessful sila, no, when it comes to uh, the things that you want them to do. So we try to take away all of those hindrances, yung mga balakid. Iniisipan na namin kung paano siya gagawing mas madali, uh, so that really it doesn't impede from the more important activity of reading, for example, or spelling. So that is really also coming from working with other professionals. So for example, I work with Teacher Mike, Teacher Irwin, Teacher Joseph, and I usually consult them also even before, because we do share a lot of students together. So also with Teacher Dab and Doc Isagiri and Doc Fortuna, they really give uh, us, the teachers, a lot of information about how to deal with the kid, and how to deal with the difficulties that these kids are experiencing. So uh, we are not caught off guard, no, when we work with these kids. We already know what to do based upon what the OT is saying or what the speech is saying, and also because we do a lot of research in terms of what kinds of activities are out there that works, what kinds of activities these professional app makers are designing for us. So another part of my work is also looking at all of these apps and all of these studies, and really judging whether we can use it at the clinic with our kids or not. So as I've said, technology is moving at a very fast pace. So palagi kong problema is that all of these apps and websites that come up with all of these really great things, in a month I can't keep up with them. There's so many. So you need time and effort also to check them one at a time, and gauge whether they are really useful to us teachers, and also useful to the kids that we work with. Hi, Christine. Hi. So there's another one that from a teacher, and she asks about work opportunities for special ed teachers in America, because I'm a special ed teacher, and I did work in America for 2 instances. So the reason for that really is to gain a lot of experience and new methods in teaching the kids that I serve. And I will say to this question that there is still a lot of opportunities for Filipino teachers to actually work abroad, because of the mga problems that America is experiencing right now with the pandemic. Just the same way that we are experiencing it here. So a lot of the teachers that I work with a couple of years ago, when I came back, already went back to the States. A lot of them I think you can actually. So the first time I went there, I got I used an agency actually to go there. The second time I did not. I moved first to New York, and then I looked for a job there. But ultimately, it was an agency also that helped me get a job in my second placement in Charleston. So, but now I hear that teachers are actually able to get working visas now because a lot of these states uh, do not have teachers after the pandemic. So, American teachers there, even when I was there, find the teaching profession very difficult already compared to if you were working, for example, in another field like retail. It's much more easy to sell things rather than to teach in America right now. So there's a lot of opening for right now. So it's a good opportunity for teachers. So I suggest that you either look at these websites for districts, school districts, so you don't go through a third party agency. Some of my friends did that this year, and they were able to get jobs on a working visa. If you don't want a uh, long term arrangement with your school districts, you can opt for a visiting teacher visa, which is what I got. Uh, so it only allows you to work for a maximum of 5 years and then come back here in the Philippines and then wait for 2 years and then go back there again. So uh, I know that I didn't want to stay in the working for American students for the rest of my life. So that's why I didn't want to uh, be teaching there full time. So if that answers your question, teacher, so I suggest you go and do your research online. I suggest that you go to these district websites and apply directly to the school or to the district. You'll get a better chance in getting a green card or a working visa that way. Madaming nangangailangan ng special ed teachers ngayon. Also math teachers and also science teachers because I did work with a lot of uh, math and science teachers in the district that I worked with before. These are all immigrant teachers, not because again, uh, teachers in America, the white teachers, the American teachers do not think that it's worth it to teach there anymore. So it gives you an opening for uh, all of these immigrant teachers to get those positions legally. All right, so now we have we are now at the part where we are going to raffle off some of the stuff that um, we did. Teacher Irwin, Teacher Tracy. Okay, so I'm going to copy all. I wish that I can see people who are okay. Teacher Jane is there. Hi, Teacher Jane. Hi, Teacher Tracy is there. Yes, Teacher Jane. Get experience there, but come back to the Philippines to serve the Filipino student. That is right. Okay, so I'm going to add Christine. Sino pa yung nasa live? Because I'm going to raffle off choice here. So, and Teacher Erwin, kailangan mo ba ng prize? Uh, let's see. Who else? Alright, so I'm just going to hindi daw makita ni Teacher Craig ang mga pumapasok. Alright, so we're just going to copy and I'll put the names here on the wheel. So I think some of the kids are here also. I'm going to add, there are 18 entries. So, all right. So I'm going to raffle off first the three things. So I guess because there are all adults here with kids, I'm going to raffle off the first one. So this is a face paint. It's neon. It's never been used. So I've been keeping this for myself, but I never use it. So uh, for the first prize, face paint. All right. So I'm going to spin now, and oh no. So the first winner is from uh, out of town. I cannot send it to you. Uh, Genevieve, baka ikaw pa ang magbibigay sa akin. So, I'm going to remove you. Okay. So, the next one, sana local lang. Alright. So, si Choi. Si Choi wins this one. Si Rain will, I'll probably send it to you na lang. Alright. Okay, next one. Uh, for our next prize, this is a brand new, never been opened pastel uh, kit. So I'm going to spin the wheel. Whoever gets this. All right. So the winner is Ava and Aya. So taga Manila, I will probably send this to you also. Wala taga Davao na nanalo. My gosh. All right. So the third one is never been opened. Uh, it's like a desktop support cell phone holder. You can adjust it. I have one. So this one I've never used. It's just there in the cabinet. So I'm going to raffle it. Uh, and our third winner. All right. So our third winner is Cedric. All right. So Ma'am Saori, Cedric wins this one. So I think dahil taga Davao ka, mag-meet up na lang tayo sa sa downtown. Uh, I'm probably going to raffle off the two free reading. Tracy, if you want this one, you can buy this in Amazon. I got this from Amazon. It's mas madali kang bumili diyan. Uh, so thank you for participating in our very short live. Oh, it's not really short. It's 40 minutes, but I hope that you learned a little bit about the reading out and what I'm trying to do. And uh, I'm going to raffle off the two reading sessions uh, later and post it on Facebook. So congratulations to the winners of these stuff. I'm going to send two, and then one hopefully, uh, ma'am, I'm going to meet you up na lang downtown for this one. All right. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Bye, friends. Hi, American friends. I miss you. Uh, I miss everyone that I used to work before. So sana tapos na yung pandemic so we can meet each other again. Bye.